Hello everyone, Toasties here, and in today's video I will be teaching you how I navigate through Medibang Paint Pro. And yeah, pretty self-explanatory. This video was highly requested amongst all of you who watched some of my digital art videos, asking how to use the program, and this is what this video is about. I won't be going over all of the tools that Medibang Paint Pro provides because, once again, this is how I navigate through it and the tools I use, and the understanding I have of the program. So, without further ado, we shall get into it. But before we continue this tutorial, I wanted to mention that this video is sponsored by Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community for creatives where millions come together to take the next step in their creative journey. Skillshare offers thousands of classes for every interest and every passion, like digital art and illustration, drawing, concept art, graphic design, and much more. One class that I was checking out was the Imaginative Drawing, Developing Concept Art Characters by Camila Derigo. One thing I struggle with is imaginative thinking when drawing concept art for characters, and instead of going straight towards a final product like I usually do, I learned that I should sketch out multiple ideas first, as well as take my environment into consideration when designing. What's great about Skillshare is that there are no ads in any of the videos provided. There are always quality classes being launched to cater to the inspiring learning experience. Classes aren't even that long and dreading like real art classes. They're short and straightforward to best fit your schedule. I know a lot of you guys say that you want to be as good as me when it comes to drawing, but don't degrade yourself, because I see a lot of you guys do in the comments. And remember that we all start somewhere, and practice makes us better. So consider joining Skillshare and get taught from thousands of amazing artists. So the first thousands of my subscribers to click on the link below in the description will get a free trial of premium membership so you can explore your creativity. With all that said, let's get back to the video. So we'll start the left side. On the left side we have this toolbar, and for the most part I only use like a portion of the stuff on the side. So really the most important stuff that you need to know is obviously the drawing one, which is the first one, the eraser tool, the like, I don't even know what to call this. I use this if I need to like make, panels or straight lines for like backgrounds or whatever. The move tool for layers, obviously. This one's good if you need to like, just like adjust like character positioning or anything. And stuff like that. This fill-in shape tool, which you can see fills in a shape to whichever one. The fill bucket that I use a lot when coloring. Gradient is pretty self-explanatory, but I don't really use this one that much. I only use it when I need like some kind of basic background. And we have the magic tool wand. So the magic tool wand I use whenever I need to select a specific enclosed space to color or and such like that, which is helpful when you want to not go over the lines. And then if I want to deselect it, I usually just like go to one of these two and select the outside. Alright, so now we will be navigating through the brushes section of the left side. So I know there's a lot listed down here, but trust me, I do not use all of them. I only use like 3, 4, 5 maybe. So my go-to when it comes to sketching and sometimes line art is pencil. So this is how pencil looks like. And obviously the more pressure you put, the darker it is, the thinner and the lighter it gets. So I use this again for line art and sketching. Someone sneezed upstairs. Bless you. Oops. Alright, so pencil. Next one I use is the pen. Pen I use for line art mainly. And whenever I just want to do like fill-in color, because the opacity is just like 100%. There's no like you can see under it like the pencil one. And then I also use the watercolor brushes down here. Watercolor wet I use a lot for like soft coloring. If I want to especially blend a color together. Blending is really hard in Medibang Paint because they don't have the blending option. So I use watercolor, the watercolor brush, to blend the colors together a lot. Just by like coloring lightly into each other. See how it's blended into each other. And the watercolor, the regular watercolor brush, which is a bit more opaque. And I like to use this for like shadings and stuff. Same for this one, but this one I usually use as the main shade, and I use watercolor wet to like blend it out to like make the edge softer. And that is okay, back to what I was saying. The correction tool. So up here you see these different number values, and basically the lower it is, the less correction and more it can like detect your shakiness and stuff. So a good way to like test out that way how correction tool works is like, so if let's say you want to like write your name in your handwriting, you would use correction like 0 to like actually like bring out your handwriting, because you have a lot of freedom and there's no like resistance in the line. And when it comes to line art, you want like a higher correction number, because you know lining can be a pain in the butt, and this kind of smooths it out and lets you like what's it called? It smooths out the lines more compared to low ones. You see how it's like those two? So this is what like one correction looks like if you want to, let's say, do bangs. Very like, it doesn't look super smooth, only some of them look smooth. And then say you have value 30 on correction, which is what I usually do, and you do it, it's much more smoother, which is very helpful in having much smoother line art instead of shaky ones, unless it's your style. But yeah. Alright, let us look at the right side of the program. So obviously you have brush size, pretty self-explanatory. Obviously each one's bigger by the bigger number value and vice versa. So I think one thing that you want to really familiarize yourself with is the layer panel. So here, this is layer 5. You've probably seen me like delete like up to like layer 5. So if you want, let's say here's your first layer, you want to make a new layer, it's the first button to the left to create a new layer. This one right here. And that's what I use all the time. If you'd say you're doing much more, I guess, detailed and complex drawings, you want to use this folder tool right here, and like, so you can organize everything much easily in your drawing. I actually use the folder tool if you've seen in my KDA drawing, which you can see in the last 2 streams I've uploaded. And if you want to delete a layer, obviously the trash can right here, that's your buddy. Now, I like to merge a lot, especially because let's say I'm drawing a body, right? I drew like a body, and then on a separate layer I draw the face because thank you, motorcycle. Another one. Thank you for interrupting. Oh my god. Alright. Like I said, on a different layer, I draw the face. Usually. That's usually what I do. And then if I like how the face looks, I merged the two together so then I didn't have to mess up the face or the nice drawing under it. And so if you want to merge it, the merge tool is right here, this one, right next to the trash can one. And that's how you merge the two together. Opacity, pretty self-explanatory. So the lower the value is, the less you can see it basically. And I just use this, I just bring it down if it's the sketch drawing, so then I don't have to, it's enough to where I can see it and see the line art itself. And yeah, up here is the navigation panel, and I usually use this, if you want to zoom in and get to a specific area, and it's very helpful for details and stuff. So this over here is the zoom in button, and obviously the more you zoom in, the more the pixels you can see, and zoom out. The one in the middle basically sets it to default view, to where the bottom and the top are just aligned. And if you want to tilt it, that's what these guys are for. And obviously if you want default, you go to the middle. And when drawing, I think a lot of artists would be oh, put it changing the perspective, making it flipping it helps see the error in your drawings. So right here is the good old mirror tool that I use a lot to help me see the error in my drawings. Let's say the character is leaning towards the left and they're practically gonna fall. So in this specific state, in the mirrored state, I like to Control T, which is the transform tool, and free transform right down here to adjust it to where it's a balanced drawing. And this is very helpful, and this adjusting the drawing in the mirrored state, I think personally helps make the drawing look better, because obviously the perspective, you're adjusting the perspective to make it look, I guess, correct. And it's it really opens your eyes instead of being super tunnel visioned in this in the regular state. And yeah, so that is basically all of the stuff I use in Medibang Paint Pro. So now I guess I will do the speed drawing. So the speed drawing will consist of some explanations in between to really show what tools I'm using, why I'm using it, and stuff like that. Alright, so it's time for the speed paint, and I know I said I usually use pencil for sketch, but I also use pen for sketch as well, especially since I was already using pen for the last, I guess, face drawing. In the tutorial, I decided to like, oh well, just continue the pen. It doesn't really matter which one I use. It kind of just depends on my mood, whether I'm feeling a more opaque drawing or more soft one. So here, if you've watched my face drawing tutorials, I'm doing what I usually do, but obviously this is digital art, so the process is a little different. And when it comes to digital art, there are shortcuts to make the drawing more efficient, so you're not just sitting there for like hours when there's like a better way to approach it. It's much faster and just like easier in general. So there's not much to say here. It's just a sketch. So my voice will come back during something very important. Hello, I'm back. As you can see, I finished the sketch and we are on to line art. So whenever I do eyes, I always copy and paste it. So right here, you can see me transform it. So that transforming is Control T. So whenever I do eyes, to make it more efficient for me, I do Control C and Control V, which is copy and paste. After that, I flip it and use Control T to adjust to perspective so that they're symmetrical in the same shape. And that tool is something I find super helpful in digital art, so I don't have to like struggle so much trying to make the other eye even like we do in traditional art. So the drawing isn't one of my usual drawings. I wanted this to be like a quick comic looking drawing, very simple, so just so I can get like the main factors of what I do in the drawing. here I am using the fill bucket tool to save time on coloring the big spaces and such, and in order to get small spaces that didn't get caught in the fill bucket tool, I used the pen brush to fill in the small spaces so that's more precise and I don't have to like erase so much. Right here, I've been using, as you can tell, the pen for like the entire drawing so far. And to soften it up, I'm using the watercolor wet tool to soften the edges and to blend it out so that the brushes aren't so harsh. And honestly, this really just comes to like style, and how you stylize your your style when it comes to like digital painting. This is like my default way of coloring. Alright, well that's pretty much all I have for today's video. I really hope this video was helpful and that you got to at least learn something and understand the program more if you are using Medibang Paint. Consider subscribing if you're not. 93% of you are not subscribed, whoever is watching. So consider subscribing and be part of this family. I haven't really come up with a name yet, but we're getting there. Consider joining my streams. I am currently going through finals right now, and hopefully during the summertime I can stream on here much more for you guys, and I would love to see you guys come up and hang out with me. Once again, if you like this video, comment down below what else you want to see, like the video if you liked it and found it helpful, and yeah, that's really all I have to say. Thank you guys so much for 70k subscribers, by the way. I did do like a text post, but I just wanted to say it on voice in video, and I'm very thankful for everything, obviously, and you guys are honestly like such a fun community and audience, and I love all of you so much. So that's all. I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.